Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. We saw in the second part. So children, now we are seeing the chair lesson of prose 5th unit. This is third part. In second part we ended the lesson that they ordered for 2 chairs and the carpenter was making it, and they were similar, and as soon as they got the 2 chairs, they were looking each other, and both are identical, and they were like Rama and Lakshmanan, and they planned to send one, and they sent one. After sending, they thought that whether they sent the best one to his uncle. So that was running in their mind. So there we stopped, children, and we'll continue the class. Okay, one by one. So after getting the chair, one they sent to their uncle and one they having. Now what happened? You see, children, if you getting a new things, what you will do? You will be just sitting and you will be seeing whether it is my turn, and like that you will be just sitting and you will be just taking the things. So okay, one by one we took turns to sit on the chair. Never felt like getting up from it, but had to, because others too had to be given a chance. Pedana sat and exclaimed appreciatively, ha ha ha. He ran his hands over the arms of the chair. He sat cross-legged on it. Atte said, we have to stitch a cover for it, otherwise it will get soiled. So here they got a chair, and every one of the family members were sitting on it, and they were just exclaiming their own feelings. So when Pedana was sitting, what he was saying? Ha ha ha, he was making a sound. Then he ran his hands over the arms. He was just touching and seeing the arms, and he keeps the hands there, and he sat cross-legged his leg on the chair, and Atte was saying, aunt was saying that we have to stitch a cover for it, otherwise it will be soiled, it will become dirt, so we have to stitch a cover for it, she was suggesting. And my little sister and brother fought over it frequently. She would shout at him, you have been sitting on it for so long, get up, I want to sit now. So there will be a fight of the young children. So brother will be sitting, and the younger sister will be saying, you are sitting for a long time, you get down, I have to sit. So that will be the fight going on there for the chair. So they were very happy with the chair. So now what will be saying? The other brother, I have just sat down, look at her, Amma. He would say, his face puckering as if about to cry. So the brother will be saying that I have sit now only, I have sat now only. See Ma, he'll be started crying that he want to sit more time in that. The news of the arrival of a chair spread like fire around the village. People, children and adults arrived in hordes to see the chair. A few even stalked it. An old man lifted the chair, quite heavy. He has made it steady. He commended the carpenter. So what had happened? The whole village, as a rumor, it had been spread everywhere that they got a new chair. That news was spread all over the village, and all the village from young to old, all were just coming as a group, and they were just coming and seeing the chair. A few days passed like this. Few days they passed by just visiting and seeing the chair. One night someone knocked on the door. So one night, so the days had passed, they were having a chair and everybody coming and looking at, it was daily something happening. And one day night there was a knock at the door. One night someone knocked on the door. Pedana, who was sleeping in the inner pail, opened the door. They said that an important person had just died in the village and that they needed the chair. So one person came and they knocked the thing, and they were saying that who was sleeping in the inner pail. So the elder brother was sleeping in the house near the door and heard the knock sound, and he went and opened the door. When he opened the door, they said that an important person had just died in the village. Important person died in the village, and then they needed the chair. So they want the chair. Since the deceased was also known to us, since the deceased means died person was also known to us, we too attended the funeral. It was an armchair that they had propped up the eminent person. So they lended the chair, they kept the chair and they kept the dead body in that, and because they also, that person who died was known to their family, so it was. And till now in our village, they always seated the corpse only on the floor. A grinding stone was laid on the floor and propped up to keep the corpse from rolling away. your gunny sack stuffed with millet straw would be rested against it. So what will happen, or they will be just making them to lie on the floor. So previously their dead body will be just lying on the floor, and they will be keeping stones arranged on both the sides, and for the head they will be just making a gunny sack in that stuffed with the millet straw. So Vecco is there, no, that will be just put inside the thing, and they will be just tying, and after just tying it they will keep for the head. So this is the way they were just keeping the corpse. But now what they, when an important person died and they come to know that there is a chair, so they were requesting for the chair. So straw would be rested against this bloster, the corpse would be placed as if reclining on it. From where our townspeople picked up this news fare of propping up the corpse on the chair, we had no clue. But from that day troubles began for our chair. They had moved from floor ticket to the chair ticket. So when they were just lying, making the thing lying on the floor, and they were taking. Now once the important person died, they got for a chair, and that's it. The whole village want to have the same thing. So from floor ticket to the chair ticket. So the corpse will be kept in the floor. Now they have been changed to keep on the chair. So when the occasion in that household was over, they left the chair in our front yard. So after the dead body had been taken and everything is over, they brought and kept the chair on the front yard. The children of the house were scared even to go look at the chair. We had the servant take it to the well and give it a good hard scrub with A, and wash it down with 15 big buckets of water. Even after several days, no one had the guts to sit on it. We didn't know how to bring it back into use. So what had happened, they just lended, and now after a corpse had been made to sit on it, a dead body had been made to sit on it, everybody was scared. Even children are not going near the chair. And after in the front yard they had taken to the well, near the well, and they just given a nice wash. 15 buckets of water had been poured, and they rubbed and they cleaned and they kept. But now the reuse in the family was not, everybody scared to sit on it. Okay, so they were thinking how to bring it back into use. Fortuitously, a guest visited our house. So what happened? Unfortunately, a guest visited our house one day. We had the chair brought for him. Don't bother, I will sit here, he said, and went towards the cloth mat. We were afraid that he would sit on the floor. The whole family persuaded him to sit on the chair. As soon as he sat down, my little brother and sister fled to the garden in the backyard. Now and then they peeped in to see what happened to the man on the chair. So what had happened, unfortunately a guest came to them, and they have just offered a thing, because he will be going and sitting. Instead of sitting down, they offer the chair to make him on sit. And the young children in the family, they saw him and they just went to the garden and peeping and seeing what is happening to him. So because they know that they are scared that dead body was sat, and so they were just going away, and they were just seeing that what is happening. The next day a local elder dropped by and chose to sit on the chair on his own, bringing us even more relief. So the next day a local elder, not an elder person in that village, came to his home, and he also sat on that on his own, bringing us even more relief. That becomes a relief. He is rehearsing on the chair now itself, whispered Peddana in my ear. So he was very elderly person, and when he was sitting on the chair, Peddana is saying, yes, he is getting trained. After dead body only he will be sitting, so he is getting trained now itself when he is alive. So he was commenting. This is how we season the chair. You know that when you make any new product, you will be, for example, earth pot and other things, you will be seasoned. You will not do iron and all, or even tawa. So you will be just seasoning it. So like that, this chair also been seasoned by making others sit on that. So this is how we season the chair. First the elder in the family sat on it. First the elder person in the family went and sat on it. The children were still afraid. So the children were not ready to go and sit. They are scared. My little sister would beg my little brother, why don't you sit on it first, da? He would restore instantly. Why don't you sit and see? So previously there was a fight that he was sitting for more time, and He was sitting for more time, and that was the thing. And now what is the fight is, you sit first, and that boy is telling you sit first. So like that the argument was going on. So till this it's clear, children? Okay. Sugandhi from the neighboring street came by and put her baby brother on the chair. It was only from then on that children of our house sat on the chair without fear. So Sugandhi of next street, she is staying in the next street of that village, and she brought a brother, and she made younger brother, small child, and she made the boy to sit, younger brother to sit on the chair. And then that day onwards the children got used to, and they started sitting on that. The fear went off for them. Again one night someone died. So after again one died. One night someone died and they took away the chair. This happened ever so often. We sent away the chair with sadness. The mourners who came interrupted our sadness differently. They assumed that we too were mourning for the dead. So each time what will happen, there will be a person coming and asking. Each time a dead is there to keep the corpse on the chair, they will be just coming and asking. So when they are asking, they will started crying because they are lending the chair. But they thought that they also mourning for the dead body. So here this was happening. So every time often it had happened, and the village people were just coming and borrowing. We were irritated that our sleep was begun, thus disturbed. Akka remarked one day, God knows why these wretched people have to go and die at such unearthly hours. Anna said expectantly, good chair we made for the corpse of our village to sit on. Cha! So like that he was making. So here what the thing is saying, I don't know why these people are dying in the late night, and always these people are coming and troubling. So that was the explanation made by the Akka, the sister in the family and elder sister of the family. And the brother was saying, nice time we made a chair, and for a good purpose we made a chair. So Aracha, like that he was saying, and he just gives the chair. All because the chair was ordered at an inauspicious time, said our aunt. So aunt was saying, so we are given a thing in an unauspicious time, you would have seen a good time for that. Pedana finally thought of an idea. We kept it to the two of us. So here Pedana finally thought of an idea. We kept it to the two of us. So we have two of us got the chair, and only we are sending, and that fellow is having uncle is having his own there. Amma sent me on an errand to Mamana's house one day. When I entered his house, there he was sitting in splendor on his chair and popping betel leaves into his mouth. It was an interesting pastime in itself to see him prepare and chew the betel leaves carefully with utmost gentleness so as not to injure it. He would open his beloved betel box, a span wide, an elbow long and 4 fingers high. He would clean and varnish it every day till it shone like gold. He would reverently take out his papernelle as if taking on outing from a puja box. So you can see the box, you'll be having all betel leaf, and you'll be having betel and other things in that, and you'll be just taking the thing in such that you're opening very slowly like that, and you'll be keeping everything so correctly. So you can see that Amma sent me on an errand to Mamana's house. So Amma had been sent to his the younger son to go and see the Mamana's house one day. When I entered his house, there he was sitting in splendor on his chair and popping betel leaves into his mouth. So he was sitting on the chair and he was just making betel nuts, just munching the betel nuts. It was an interesting pastime in itself to see him prepare and chew the betel leaves. So here you can observe, you will be just taking the betel leaf, he will be wiping on his dress, and he will be cleaning, and he will be just keeping, and he will be folding. This all will be so nice. So he will be very carefully open as if it is a treasure box, and he will be taking as if a treasure the betel nut, betel and betel nuts are. So he will be taking and folding it, and he will be just putting it, and then he will be munching. So that all will be nice to see. So he was observing that boy who had been sent carefully with utmost gentleness so as to not to injure it. So here he doesn't, he'll be taking in such a careful way the beetle leaf, and he'll be opening the box in gentle way, and as if it not damage, he'll be just wiping it. So he'll be doing it. Would open his beloved beetle box a span wide. So you'll be opening span wide and elbow long, it will be elbow long, and 4 fingers high, it will be 4 fingers high, and he would clean and burnish it every day till it shone like gold. He will be just cleaning it in such a way, every day he will be cleaning, and it will be looking like a golden box, and it shone like gold. He would reverently take out his perennial as if taking out from a puja box. So he will be taking all, how you are keeping a puja box, like that he will be taking that. So the beetle nut box. Okay children, it is very clear how we will be just making it. Will go for the next. Though he wiped the beetle leaves clean, he never pinched off the stalk. So he will never pinch it off the stalk, it will be having a stalk, so that the small stem did not pick it. So thrifty was he was so stingy person and thrifty person. If he found a chorus leaf, he would stripe the vein off, which always made us think of the old riddle chant about beetle leaves. So the way he was just making the beetle leaves, so he will be having, he will not waste even that stem. And sometimes if it is not smelly and it is not good, then only he will be removing that part. And catch hold of patham stripe of his spine, smear him with fresh butter. So catch hold of pathan stripe of his spine, so it will be holding it, and smear him with fresh butter. He would sniff the broken arecanut. Sniffing was supposed to ward off intoxication. Then he would blow on the nut to get rid of the invisible arecanut worms. That's why this sniffing was blowing slow to begin with, would increase in speed, hand moving from nose to mouth until with great noise, or shush shush, like that he'll be making, it was popped into the mouth tobacco. So what happened? First he'll be taking the leaf, he'll be just seeing, and he'll be holding it in such a way with the vein and all, and with that he'll be just making all the sound, and he'll be taking the beetle nut and tobacco. Then he'll be just making some sound, he'll be just making that bad smell of that will be going on. So he'll be just making it, and then he'll be putting in his mouth, and he'll be just popping it. And to find out how tidy a person is, all one has to do is to look at his lime paste daba. Where this was concerned, Mamanar was unmatched. Even the excess lime paste on his finger wasn't wiped off unnecessarily on other objects. You would press his lime paste daba to your eyes with reverence. His ever ready torch, bought 15 years ago, was still in use, bright and sparkling new, as if bought just now. The one bought by a family at the same time had sprung a leak, dented, yellowing and pitiable. It looked like a chronic patient about to die. So here what all the things he was having, even a small lime box will be there, and when he is taking it in finger, in such a care he will be taking, and the things all what he is having, it all will be very shining and nice. And the same time their family also bought, it will be not good. You know that spanking new, so there will be just was still in use, bright and sparkling new, as if we bought just now. The one who bought by a family at the same time had sprung a leak, dented, yellowing and pitiable. It looked like a chronic patient about to die. So here the same thing they bought, but the uncle will be keeping in new daily, just shining, washing it and wiping it and cleaning neatly, keeping neatly. Even in the same age they are bought, but they will not keep properly, so it will not be nice. No one but him could use the chair in his house, so he will not allow anybody to use the chair. He only will be using it. And the first thing he did as soon as he got up every morning was to wipe Okay children, we will see that the next thing in the next part. The one who bought a family at the same time had sprung a leak. So here they got the same time all the vessels and other things, the box and the thing which he is using for betel nuts and all, is keeping in a right way, but in the same thing which he bought at the same time in their family, the vessels and other things are just broken, leaking, and it was looking like a chronic patient. So here we will keep a stop and we will continue in the next part. Thank you children.